Hey all, Darlene Weir, design, style, and beauty expert. I'm coming at you today with some quick tips about what to place for your first Savvy Minerals order. I'm going to provide you with a list at the end of this video, so you can either take notes now or just make a list later by pausing the video. So the first thing you're going to want to put into your cart is our Savvy Minerals Misting Spray. This is an awesome, versatile product. You can use it to set your face at the end of your look. You can use it to loosen up the powder, to spray into the lid and make more of a cream out of your powder, foundations and eyeshadows and eyeliner, etc. Or you can use it to freshen up your face midway through the day by doing a quick spritz and then touching up. So this kind of loosens things up so that you can revisit your look and go from a morning to night with a quick spritz. The second thing you're going to want to make sure you have in your cart is your foundation. Now, a lot of people get bent out of shape with picking a foundation shade, but with mineral makeup, you don't really, it's a lot more forgiving and flexible. What I recommend is putting a number 2 in your cart and starting there. If your number 2 ends up being too light, then you can go ahead and order a number 3 and keep your number 2 for concealer. If your number 2 is too dark, then you can keep your number 2 and use that for contour on your cheeks or possibly for your brow color, and then you order your number 1. So you really can't go wrong if you go ahead and try right there in the middle. If you tend to have a very, very pale, fair tone, then I recommend the cool. Most people fall into warm, and of course, if you have black skin, you're gonna wanna go ahead and go with your darks and look within the range of that. And try, possibly start with the number 3. Okay, so that's gonna be our foundation. I happen to have a warm number 1 and a warm number 2 because I use my warm number 1 for concealer. So if you already know what your color is, you could go ahead and order your 2 colors. So you have your concealer and your foundation. All right, the next thing I'm gonna recommend that you order is our bronzer. Now, both of the bronzer colors are gorgeous, but if you're just starting out and you want to try one, I recommend trying Crowned All Over. It is a gorgeous color that's going to give you all of these kind of highlights like what I'm using here. You can also use them to dust on your eyes for a little trick to thicken up your mascara in between layer 1 and layer 2 of mascara, and then whatever falls on your cheeks as you're layering that on will end up being just highlights. So I absolutely love this Crowned All Over bronzer. It's super flexible and gorgeous. I really recommend that one. Okay, for your cheek color, my favorite one is I Do Believe You're Blushing. This color is like a warm, gorgeous rose peach is how I would describe it. And as I'm mentioning in one of my upcoming videos, this color to me feels a lot like the world famous NARS color, which has a name that I actually will not say on this video. You can look it up, famous NARS, N-A-R-S blush. And that color has been my staple for years, and it is a no-fail gorgeous color. Well, I think I like this one even better. It has a lot more dimension to it, and it's so flexible, and every time I put it on, it just brightens up my face. I'm so pleased with it. So I really do recommend giving this blush color a try. I Do Believe You're Blushing. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna wanna put in your cart, make sure that you have, is our jet eyeliner. This is like a jet black. You can use it in the corner of your eyes for eyeshadow. You can use it with the spray, the misting spray, and make a liquid eyeliner. A very versatile, very fun product. I actually like using it with just a little bit of the misting spray. I mix it on my hand, and I like using it with not a liquid eyeliner brush, but one of these smudge eyeliner brushes. So throw one of those in there. This is going to be an optional product. I recommend the Multitasker. It's a dark brown. You don't have to have it for your first order, but it's the color that I'm using here in the corner, and it does really beautiful contour. You can also use it with a smudge eyeliner brush right down here on the bottom. Okay, the 2 eyeshadow colors that were my favorites of all that I tried were Determined, which is going to be your dark, This is why you don't necessarily have to have the Multitasker, in my opinion, to start with. Oh, and also Spoiled. This is a gorgeous, shimmery, I hate to say pink because it's just gonna warm and brighten up your face. It's not a pure pink, but it adds shimmer to everything, and I've got that right in here and all around here. And believe it or not, what I ended up using for my all over color was not an eyeshadow, but it is that crowned all over bronzer. I absolutely love that. I can tell that's the one I'm gonna run out of the fastest because I'm using it for my base layer on my eyes, I'm using it to highlight, I'm using it to blend in my cheeks. Got to have that one. Now, what I'm using on my eyebrows, I have tried a couple different things, and I think the one that I've settled on is the Determined, which is actually the eyeshadow. That's what's so fun about these. These are flexible. You can get out of just a handful of products. You can just really cover every area of your face. So I've been using a wet brush, an eyeliner brush, an eyebrow brush, and I've been using that Determined. So I recommend having that one on hand. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow. So these are the two lip products that I recommend throwing in. Right now we do not have a lip liner. I personally use lip liner and I recommend getting a lip liner. So I can't wait until we offer lip liner products so I can tell you which ones are my faves. But for lipstick, I recommend trying for your starter color, Daydream. Looks like this. It's just a sweet color that has some shimmer. You put that all over your lips. And I also recommend ordering for your lip gloss this beautiful color, which is called Abundant. Love this. This is going with me everywhere I go. What I like to do is put the Daydream on the bottom and put Abundant lip gloss on the top. That is the look that I am wearing today. That's what I have on. But what's so neat about this is that this is sort of like a warm color, and this has the cool of the pink. So if you want, by just ordering these two colors, you can get all sorts of looks, either by blending them together or just doing this one or just doing this one. So that's why I recommend that for your starter look. Okay, two more products that you might consider trying are the Diamond Dust. This is going to be an all over opalescent look. So if you really like doing highlights and playing around with highlights, I recommend trying Diamond Dust. I personally prefer the crowned all over. And like I mentioned, the Multitasker are other two optional products. And then for brushes, this is where you are going to want to make sure that you are fully loaded, because without your brushes, you're not going to be able to play around. You're not going to have the flexibility. Our brushes should be coming in soon, so I cannot wait until they come in. But until then, take what you have. Make sure you have a good cheek brush. Make sure you have an eye contour brush. Make sure that you have a blending eye brush. You're going to want a light color eyeshadow brush. You're going to want a concealer brush. You're going to want to have a brow brush. This is my foundation brush. And I love having this short little stubby it's kind of like an eye smoother brush right in here, for the smoky look. So those are the brushes that I would recommend. That is what I would recommend for your first order of products. Again, there's going to be a list right at the end, so make sure you write it all down. Thanks, guys.